Hi everyone, my name is Armine Bazikyan, and this month I wanted to talk to you about 4 tools or tips you can utilize to better protect your assets. Asset protection planning is a large component of estate planning, and so these tips are easy things that you can do to better protect your assets. With asset protection, the entire goal is to protect what you have acquired, so all your hard-earned assets. We want to protect it from creditors, from the bankruptcy court, from ex-spouses, so from anyone that would essentially want to take it away from you. And so the first tip I have for you is to invest in your retirement accounts. Under federal laws, certain types of retirement accounts like 401ks and certain types of IRAs are protected from bankruptcy, for example. So if you invest money into these retirement accounts, you can be assured that it will be shielded if you have a bankruptcy that you're filing or some other issues going on in your life. And it's a great way to provide yourself with retirement in the future. So think of investing in your retirement accounts because this could be a great asset protection tool. The second tool or thing that you can do, tip that I have for you, is to make sure that you have adequate insurance. So insurance is very important because a lot of times your insurance policy is your first line of defense if there's a lawsuit brought against you. So we want to make sure that you not only have great insurance in place, but that it's enough to cover whatever risk you have in your life. So review your policies annually and make sure that you have enough insurance in place. And I'll give you an example of how the insurance will play out during a lawsuit. So let's say Sally goes onto John's property, she trips, she falls, and she sues John and gets a judgment for $1.3 million. When she brings that lawsuit against John, the first thing he's going to do is going to be to call up his homeowner's insurance company and say, hey, I was served with a lawsuit. Here is the lawsuit. Here's all the paperwork. That insurance company will actually hire an attorney, and if it's a great policy that he had, if it's a really good policy, they'll actually pay for the legal attorney fees, and the attorneys will actually defend him from start to finish in that lawsuit. So that insurance policy will be the first line of defense for John. So it's a great idea to annually review your policies to make sure that the type of coverage you have is correct and there's no strange exclusions for certain things. So it's a really good idea to get a really good understanding and to work with a professional that really understands these different policies and the exclusions. The third tip is related to the second tip, and that is once you have figured out your insurance, once you reviewed it and make sure you have enough, what I would recommend is that you go out and you buy more. So the third tip is going to be purchase umbrella insurance, and this is very important. So what umbrella insurance is essentially extra insurance that you're buying, and it'll cover your other policies. So you're buying extra liability insurance to utilize in the off chance that the underlying policy that you have is not enough. So in that same example, if Sally had a judgment for $1.3 million and John's insurance underlying homeowner's policy was only for $1 million, his homeowner's insurance would pay her the $1 million, but Sally would have $300,000 that would go unpaid. And she would go after John personally for that amount. So John's assets would actually be on the line. If John purchases umbrella insurance, if he had umbrella insurance in place for, let's say, $1 million or $2 million, after that $1 million from the homeowner's insurance is paid out, that additional $300,000 that's owed would come from the insurance policy, from the umbrella policy. So John would walk away without having to give Sally anything from his personal assets, from his own pockets. So the two insurance policies would work together to help John resolve his issue, get rid of it without losing any money from his own pocket. So that's the third tip, is purchase umbrella insurance, and they're relatively inexpensive generally for an annual policy, so it's really worth your while. And the fourth tip would be that if you are an investor or you're a landlord and you have investment properties that you're leasing or renting out, or you're doing flips, it's always a good idea to have investment properties be held in what we call a limited liability company. And we've had previous videos on this, so you can check them out on our website. And the limited liability company might not work best for you. It just depends on your particular situation. So, of course, the limited liability has a lot of pluses, a lot of positives like asset protection, but it also has some negatives that you should definitely consult with an attorney about before you go ahead and you put one of your properties into an LLC. So if you would like to discuss potentially creating an LLC for your assets, for your investment properties, feel free to give us a call. I'd be happy to sit down with you and give you the pros and cons for your particular situation and see if it's something that works out for you. Contact our office and I'd be happy to sit down with you. Bye.